Now at 9, Webb City community members gather for an Easter egg hunt at King Jack Park. Plus, Pittsburgh State students hold a community cleanup day. And Lebec Community College hosts its annual fire school for firefighters in the area.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Carrie Worthen. Webb City today held its annual Easter egg hunt at King Jack Park. The hunt was an opportunity for kids of all ages to come and look for eggs and have a chance to receive full Easter baskets. Some of the eggs include movie tickets, Texas Roadhouse gift cards, and ice cream gift cards. The hunts were broken up by age groups.
Honestly, for every event that we put on, what we hope is the sense of community that the city of Webb City and its employees and all departments just truly care about our citizens and their children. And just that sense that what our parks are for the people.
The Easter egg hunt was free to the public. Students at Pitt State spent their Saturday helping the community. Pitt State Students Government Association held its annual community cleanup. For the event, students cleaned up more than 50 homes. The cleanup included raking leaves, washing windows, and planting flowers.
I know the community loves it. I will get calls, we don't do this until April 1st today, but I'll get calls back in January from people that have done it in the past, homeowners that have done it in the past, and they want to know, hey, when's the big event? Is it coming up? I'm like, it'll be here soon.
The cleanup had 450 volunteers. Lebec Community College hosts its 40th annual fire school. KOAM was there and has more on this story.
It's always been a passion for me, and once I got into it, I found out just how much I loved it.
Ethan Day is just one of almost 200 volunteer and full-time firefighters attending Lebec Community College Fire School.
We're trying to cover a lot of the disciplines that these firefighters deal with. Everybody from careers in major cities here to volunteers on, staffing of less than 10 on the whole department.
Firefighters from Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Michigan, and Texas are not only learning in the classroom, they are offered hands-on training such as live burns, live grass fires, vehicle extractions, and much more.
They teach us a lot of things that we don't get a whole lot of training from just because of funding and things, bringing it to our area, and it's really an incredible thing that they're doing.
It's personal. This is my hometown, grew up here, got my very first start, just got on the department all of a couple weeks before this school started, so this is where everything started for me. The volunteer service is kind of the pipeline for career departments, and that's something we should encourage, push for, and should be excited about.
In Parsons, KOAM News.
Love.
The fire school runs through tomorrow with more hands-on learning. High Power Garage in Joplin held teen auto maintenance. The local garage teaches teenagers how to properly maintain their vehicles and why it is important to do so. Teenagers also had an opportunity to learn how to change a tire and what to do in emergency situations.
We really seen a need that buying a car is the second biggest investment you make in your life, and the price of cars nowadays is kind of staggering. We want to make sure we get the very most out of them.
The garage hosts the event once a month. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for our first look at the weather.
All right, thank you very much, Carrie. It's been a beautiful day across the area with lots of sunshine, very few clouds out there. Radar is clear on the current hour, but we're watching a storm system out over the Rocky Mountains. You can't really see it all that impressively right now, but as it pulls out into the plains tomorrow, we'll start to see the clouds increase and some sprinkles and some showers. And then we're going to be watching a bigger storm system approach our area on Tuesday, and that one is going to be significant. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Sunday sprinkles and then isolated storms possible on Monday. But here's the alert day possible on Tuesday, and that will be followed by a cooler Wednesday. And of course, I have all the details on your forecast, including a look at Tuesday specifically, in just a little bit.
Thanks, Sam. At least 21 people are dead, multiple people are injured, and damage is widespread after a slew of storms and tornadoes tore across the South and Midwest. So far, more than 50 reports of tornadoes were recorded Friday in at least 7 states, and the weekend weather threat isn't over yet. Isabel Rosales has the latest.
Little Rock obviously suffered serious damage over the course of the last 24 hours.
A state of emergency declared and the National Guard activated in hard-hit Arkansas. one of 7 states devastated by widespread storms and deadly tornadoes on Friday.
We heard the wind, and then our dad, he immediately woke up from his nap and told us to go to the bathroom quick.
At least a dozen tornadoes were reported in Arkansas. Homes and businesses destroyed in a matter of minutes.
I've had the opportunity over the last couple of hours to speak with both the Homeland Security Secretary as well as President Biden, who have offered a tremendous amount of support, anything that Arkansas needs.
The mayor of Little Rock says more than 2,000 of his residents were affected by the tornado. He says the impact is devastating.
There are complete neighborhoods that have been flattened, as well as commercial businesses.
We don't know what's left. All my neighbors' houses are about destroyed.
In northern Illinois, at least 1 person is dead and dozens of others injured after the roof of the Apollo Theater in Belvedere collapsed. A strong line of severe weather moved through the area, and it wasn't immediately clear whether the storms caused the roof to crumble.
It's just really hard to see people and hear people being hurt.
Meanwhile, the threat of more severe weather looms for some 70 million people from the south to the northeast through Saturday evening. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Coming up, we'll take a look at why doctors are now recommending getting screened for colon cancer early. Most doctors recommend people start screening for colon cancer by the age of 45, but an increase in the number of younger people developing the disease is causing some health professionals to call for earlier tests. Fox News correspondent Kevin Quirk has more on the symptoms you should look out for.
An alarming spike in colon cancer among people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s is putting doctors on high alert.
Since 1994, we have seen the incidence of colorectal cancer in individuals less than 50 years of age has increased to about 50%.
Carissa Rund was only 31 when doctors diagnosed her with stage 4 colon cancer.
Take your symptoms seriously.
Excruciating stomach pain led her to seek medical attention, where doctors discovered a tumor blocking her colon.
If you have blood in your stools, or if you have abdominal pain, please talk to a doctor.
Doctors are still trying to understand what's causing this cancer in younger people, but some theories include
maybe obesity, change in gut bacteria.
According to the American Cancer Society, more than 52,000 people are expected to die from it this year alone.
I'm keenly aware of some of the ramifications of not getting tested.
The FDA says a colonoscopy is the gold standard for screening. The procedure only needs to be done once every 10 years for those with an average risk of developing the disease. For extra peace of mind, some people, like Danny Glussman, are doing an FDA-approved blood test in between colonoscopies. Reducing alcohol consumption, not smoking, and maintaining a healthy weight with regular exercise can actually help you significantly lower your risks for colon cancer. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
A UK study finds young children exposed to hostile parents are 1.5 times more likely to be at high risk for mental health symptoms. Researchers say children are impacted by the harsh discipline, such as parents who regularly shout at them, physically punish, and isolation. Several hand sanitizers are being recalled for containing methanol. According to a notice by the Food and Drug Administration, German's Midwest Cleaning System Incorporated is voluntarily recalling some of its hand sanitizers. The recall includes a lot of alcohol antiseptic 80% topical solution hand sanitizer non-sterile solution and isopropyl alcohol antiseptic 75% topical solution hand sanitizer non-sterile solution. The presence of methanol was detected during testing. Sam is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, Carl Junction Baseball takes on Nevada Baseball at home. Rock Aldridge will have the highlights in sports.
Well, friends, we are starting off the weekend right with lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, and lighter winds after yesterday's windstorm. And this morning down in Seneca, Missouri, things started off pretty nicely as well. As we go through the day, you can see hardly a cloud in the sky all afternoon long, lots of blue sky down in Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. And in the end there, we started to see a little bit of cloud and it's starting to move in. That's ahead of the next storm system that will start to move into our area as we go through tomorrow. Not expecting a whole lot from that system. And the allergies are pretty bad. Today it was 10.7 out of 12. Tomorrow will be even worse at 11.1. Most of this is maple, juniper, and elm tree pollen. So if you're allergic to those, that's why you had the sniffles. Radar right now is pretty much all clear across the area. And we're looking at the drought situation still continuing for Chautauqua and Elk counties on the exceptional scale. The dry weather extends all the way now into western parts of Missouri once again. We definitely need some more rainfall, especially for the folks in southeastern Kansas. Temperatures right now are in the 40s and 50s with light south winds, and it looks like a pretty nice evening. Now, as we go through the day tomorrow, we're going to see the clouds increase in showers too. And on Monday, there is a marginal risk of strong storms across our area. But the good news is the threats are low at this point on the scale for Monday, but that's going to change for Tuesday. And here's a look at the map for Tuesday. Basically, along and east of Highway 69, there's a significant risk of severe weather in our region. And we're going to have to watch this very closely, but it extends even out towards the west a little bit too, but most certainly for areas east of Highway 69. And the moderate risk of tornadoes, moderate risk of large hail, moderate risk of winds, some very high winds, low risk on the heavy rain because the storms are going to be moving at a very rapid pace. The time frame is going to be around 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And again, those threats are tornadoes, hail, and high winds on Tuesday. So we may be calling an alert day as we go through time. Now, I wanted to show you this map because this is a map of the dew points. You can see as we go through Monday and into Tuesday, we're going to have deep moisture coming up from the south. Then we have the dry air coming in from the west. And notice the winds at the surface in green out of the south. But as you go up through the atmosphere, it begins to turn. And as it gets up into the upper atmosphere, it begins to turn to more southwesterly and also stronger. So if you can imagine a thunderstorm developing in this environment, the storm will automatically want to start rotating. So that's why we're concerned about the threat of severe weather in our area on Tuesday afternoon and evening. So with that in mind, just keep in mind, here are some of the safety rules for tornadoes in our area. Lowest floor, away from outside walls and windows. You want to be in a small interior room and be sure to protect your head from any flying debris. And of course, the best place is in a basement or in a safe room. And if you're in an apartment building or a multi-story building, you want to get to know your neighbors on the first floor, as that is the best place to go in a tornado situation in a high rise. Again, lowest floor, away from outside walls and windows. Rain chances are going to be low through the next 36 hours. And as we go through the forecast, we're not expecting a whole lot of rain with the first system. And even on Tuesday, the rain chances are going to be there, but not a lot of rainfall from those thunderstorms once they get going. Here's the next 7-day forecast. 10% chance of sprinkles for your Palm Sunday. Then on Monday, a 10% chance of an isolated storm. But the better chance of storms, Carrie, is going to be on Tuesday, and we're going to have to watch it closely, and then cooler on Wednesday and Thursday. And then next weekend, Easter looks great. Mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the 60s.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tuesday is nice temperatures, but we have to also be careful for
Yeah, exactly.
that
We're going
time
to
of
have to
year.
watch it closely.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Sam. Coming up, we'll take a look at how inflation could be affecting your wallet as a pet parent. Now that the mercury is starting to climb, gas prices are rising a bit too. As more drivers hit the road, fuel prices are moving upward. AAA Mid-Atlantic says the average price of a gallon of regular gas in New Jersey on Friday was $3.25, an increase of 2 cents a gallon from last week. But the cost is down significantly from the last year when drivers were paying on average $4.19 a gallon. Across the country, the average price for a gallon of regular gasoline is $3.50, up 6 cents from last week. New numbers are out and they show home prices in the U.S. continue to fall. The latest S&P chronologic case Shriller U.S. National Home Price Index was released Tuesday. It showed housing prices fell in January for the 7th month in a row. After seasonal adjustment, the national index posted a month-over-month decrease of 0.2%. 15 out of 20 cities in the index reported month-to-month declines. Home prices have been falling as a result of Federal Reserve's historic effort to rein in inflation. Inflation is being unleashed on pet owners. February's Consumer Price Index showed pet food is up more than 15% year over year, and pet supplies jumped over 5% during the same period. Fox Business Network's Gerald Willis has the details.
Inflation isn't just impacting what we're putting on the table. For pet parents, they're also seeing it as they fill the bowls of their fur babies.
The food, the vet visits, the grooming, everything has just increased so much lately.
According to a new survey from pet care site Rover.com, the annual cost for dog essentials surged roughly 12% year over year. And for cats, the number pounced around 8% over the last 12 months.
Even as prices are going up, our pets are still our priority.
The increases break down across three categories. Upfront costs of bringing home a new pet, pet essentials including food, supplies, and medical expenses, and extras like toys and treats.
In 2023, we saw the upfront cost of a dog going from about $1,100 to over $5,000. Annual cost for dog essentials can range from about $600 on the low end to over $3,500. And then those optional extras that pet parents may pick can range from $1,300 to over $4,000. The upfront cost for cats went from about $755 to over $3,000. And those annual costs for essentials ranged from about $300 to about $1,600. Additionally, cat parents may opt for some extras, and those average $1,100 to over $3,600.
The study shows more than half the pet parents surveyed have pressed pause on personal spending, with more than 40% scaling back on their own groceries so their four-legged family members can keep the same quality of life.
I used to go through the Starbucks drive-through probably every day. 1 week of Starbucks to me is probably equivalent to one bag of dog food for a Mac.
The Rover study reports the spending for most dog breeds averages $50 to $99 a month, but pawing their way to the top of the list, essentials for golden doodles fetching $100 to $150 a month. In New York, Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
Up next, how a woman proves to adults that you are never too old to get your college degree. Get a public service degree from Zane College.
Like they say, follow your heart. If it's something you can, go ahead and do it.
The honor comes just ahead of her 103rd birthday in April. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. One of the officers that responded to the Nashville school shooting is praised for his heroic tornado outbreak across the South and Midwest last night, wreaking havoc just hours after President Biden was in Mississippi, visiting a small town devastated by last week's storms. He's now back in Delaware as we continue awaiting his decision on a 2024 run. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson is at the White House with more.
Neither President Biden nor White House officials have said much about Donald Trump's indictment. Here's our colleague Peter Ducey at the White House Friday.
Mr. President, do you think that the charges against Trump are politically motivated? No comment.
President Biden went to his granddaughter's art show in Philadelphia, followed by lunch at a local restaurant off Rittenhouse Square. Biden himself is under federal investigation into his handling of classified materials, his son Hunter too, in a separate matter. Yesterday, Biden traveled to the Mississippi Delta to view the damage in Rolling Fork. About 85% of the town was destroyed in that powerful tornado. At least 25 people were killed.
Resilience of this community has been remarkable. And I just want you to know, as you fight through this, you're not alone. The American people will be with you. They'll help you through it, and so will I.
Mississippi's Governor Tate Reeves appeared alongside the president and also spoke.
And I believe him, and I appreciate him. I appreciate the call on Saturday, and I appreciate the fact that the President of the United States is standing here in Sharkey County, Mississippi, to deliver more remarks today, to hear from the people most affected.
Now some presidential history. While Donald Trump is the first ex-president to be indicted, while in office, President Warren Harding was close to being the first in 1921, stemming from the Teapot Dome bribery scandal, also known as the Oil Reserves Scandal, over the secret leasing of federal oil reserves. Harding died in office before he could be charged. Of course, Richard Nixon was pardoned by Jerry Ford before Nixon could be charged. President Biden's approval rating remains underwater, with many wondering when he will announce his candidacy to run for re-election in 2024. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Sam Lane joins us with a look at the weather.
All right, thank you very much. It's been a beautiful day across the area, and we're expecting more nice weather for this evening. Let's take a look at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort this morning. You can see it was very nice out there, and right now we're looking at pretty nice conditions across the area. Allergies have been bad. Today, 10.7. Tomorrow will be 11.1. And of course, I'll have more details on our forecast, which includes a look at Tuesday, which is going to be very interesting, so you don't want to miss that.
Thanks, Sam. One of the first officers to respond to Nashville's Covenant school shooting is being praised for his courage and quick thinking. Most proud of Rex Engelbert's heroics, his family. Marissa Solik spoke to Engelbert's brother and has more.
It took almost 3 minutes from when Metro Police Officer Rex Engelbert got to the Covenant school to when he shot 28-year-old Audrey Hale.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
He was polite, determined, and quick. That's what his brother Kevin noticed.
He kept his manners throughout the video, even to the before he was when he was talking to the lady and who's devastated, and just the fact that he was always trying to be front of the line.
Engelbert is one of 5 kids raised in the Chicago area. He's also a 4-year Metro Nashville police veteran who moved to the city to be with his fiancée, a job his brother says he doesn't take for granted.
If you're ever talking to him, he says, and he's got a long week or an extra shift, he will cheekily say, "I get to work overtime today."
He says Rex is fearless, something they get from their mother.
Our mom always taught us to be brave, and that was easily seen in his actions yesterday and his fellow policemen and that department and that body cam footage.
And it's that footage that proves Rex was the right person to be in the right place at the right time.
Just chills, and also just very proud to see how brave he was heading towards the sound of gunfire, and obviously just scared for his life and devastated at the signs of the victims in that school.
The funeral for Covenant school shooting victim Evelyn Deckhaus took place yesterday. Services for other victims are scheduled over the next few days. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., as the Biden White House and Democratic lawmakers are pushing for gun safety legislation, many Republicans are not interested in taking steps in that direction. The GOP is in control of the White House, and the chance of substantial gun legislation being passed through is slim to none. Still ahead, AI researchers are being told to put a stop to the advancement of technology. We'll take a look at that and what that is.
What a beautiful April spring day that we had today, with lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, and hardly a cloud in the sky. That was true down in Seneca, Missouri this morning as well. As we put this in motion, you can see as we go through the afternoon, nothing, just clear blue skies, and that's just the way we like to see it this time of year. And you can see that at Indigo Sky Casino Resort. As we headed through the afternoon, a few clouds started to pop up, and we're going to see more clouds tomorrow, but at least the best chance of rain is going to be down on the Oklahoma side. Radar right now is all clear, but as we go through the next 24 hours, we could see some scattered showers developing down in Oklahoma, maybe 1 or 2 up in our area, mainly sprinkles as the atmosphere is extremely dry at the surface, and a lot of that will evaporate before it hits the ground. Speaking of dry, the drought continues for western parts of our area in Elk and Chautauqua counties, where exceptional drought is still the rule, and now the dry weather is starting to inch its way back into western Missouri, and we definitely need some more rainfall, especially in southeastern Kansas. Temperatures this evening are generally varied. Lower 40s up to the north and west, like in Chanute, where it's 43, but 54 in Miami for one of the warmer readings, 52 down in Bella Vista, 50 in Cassville. Now, as we go through time, Monday, there is a marginal risk of some strong to severe storms across our area, but the main threats are going to be low. So we're not really concerned about Monday. Not the same to be said for Tuesday. We're expecting a lot of severe weather possible in our region, especially from Highway 69 and points eastward. We're going to have to watch this very closely, because hopefully this will be a little bit more to the east, and it'll be a repeat of what we had the other day, where the storms developed over us but then rapidly moved out of our area. But unfortunately, it looks like this system is slower, so as a result, more of our area is under the risk. And we're talking about the possibility of tornadoes, large hail, high winds, in the area from around 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, and the threat of heavy rain is going to be low as these storms are going to be rapidly moving off towards the north and east. So let's take a look at the storm dynamics a little bit. Dew points are going to be increasing as we go through the day tomorrow. That's here in the green area where dew points are going to be higher, and then in the white and yellow areas is extremely dry air. Then as we go through Monday, a little bit of a dry line bulge starts to occur in Oklahoma, and we could see 1 or 2 strong or isolated severe storms down mainly in Oklahoma. But then watch what happens on Tuesday. The dry line retreats back to the west, and then in the afternoon it pulls out into the plains, and so we have a dry air mass shoving into this warm, moist air mass from the surface. So notice the winds on Tuesday are out of the south. But as we go through the atmosphere, up in the atmosphere, the wind changes direction and also changes speed. And as it does, a thunderstorm developing in that environment is naturally going to want to rotate. And that means tornadoes. So let's go over the tornado safety rules real quick. Looks like the lowest floor, away from outside walls and windows, smaller interior room like a bathroom, hallway, or closet are best, or underneath the staircase. And of course, the best place is a basement, safe room, or cellar. So we're going to have to watch it pretty closely. Rain chances over the next 36 hours are going to be low, not zero, but low. Temperatures tonight are going to be in the 30s up to the north, 40s elsewhere. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with highs in the 60s and 70s. Here's the chance of sprinkles and showers down to the south. Then on Monday, mostly cloudy skies with lows in the 50s and 60s. And then Monday afternoon looks great with windy conditions, highs in the upper 70s. And then as we move into Tuesday, rain and clouds start to develop in the morning with temperatures in the 60s. And over the next 7 days, here we go. Palm Sunday looks great, a few sprinkles, best chance of storms on Tuesday, some of those likely strong to severe, then cooler on Wednesday and Thursday. And Resurrection Sunday looks great, temperature of 66 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Carrie?
All right, well, let's go. We have a good Easter coming up.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, coming up in sports, there's a baseball all around the Show Me State. We'll see highlights of the Royals and Cardinals. Plus, a big day for the Nevada Tigers as they face Carl Junction earlier today. We'll have all that details up next in sports.
Well, the Missouri Southern Lions opened up against Fort Hays State with a big win on Friday. The Lions looked to beat the Tigers. They beat them in the last game 13-3 for their 7th straight win. Tonight, Southern keeps it rolling, winning their first 2 games of the series against Hays. The Lions were down 8-2 at one point, and they came back and won the game 17-8. A few monster performances in this game. Webb City's own Tragan Parker went 3 for 6 in this one with a home run and 7 RBIs. Nate Mezkowski also had a big day with 2 home runs in this game. Lions won both of those games. They've now won 8 straight. Series finale between the two will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pitt State Gorillas were also in action today in Edmond, Oklahoma, taking on the UCO Broncos. The Gorillas are facing against Oklahoma, are a little skid right now, losing today's game 10-6. Brett Daly had a nice game, going 1 for 4 with the bases clearing 3-run triple. Pitt State's now lost 3 of their last 4 games. Gorillas will try to clinch the series tomorrow against Central Oklahoma with first pitch at 1 p.m. Well, the Nevada Tigers have won back-to-back games after beating Carthage 7-6 on Thursday night. With that win, the Tigers are now 4-2, their first 6 games of the season. Nevada aims to win their 3rd straight win today on the road against Carl Junction. In the top of the first, Case Sanderson hits that ball right down the right field line, gets past the first baseman. Cade Beshore scores easily, makes it 1-0 Nevada. In the 3rd now, Caden Klump lines it to left field. RBI single makes it 2-0 Tigers. In the 3rd, Graham Walker off the end of the bat. 2 runs will score. It's a 2-run single. Nevada now leads at 4-0. In the 4th inning, Case Sanderson, what a day he had. Drives this one deep over the center fielder's head for an RBI double. Tigers up 5-0. Case Sanderson went 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs in this game. That wasn't enough for you. He was a starting pitcher for Nevada as well, pitching 3 scoreless innings. Nevada would win soundly over Carl Junction, winning the game 11-1 in 5 innings. After the game, we caught up with Case Sanderson.
Yeah, I mean, as a team, we all hit the ball really well and played defense. And on the mound, I was just throwing strikes and letting the team work and had a solid performance.
Well, the St. Louis Cardinals had a wild high-scoring opening day game against the Toronto Blue Jays last Thursday. That resulted in a loss. St. Louis trying to bounce back after a shaky pitching performance, looking for their first win of the season. Starting off in the third, it's already 1-0 St. Louis. Nolan Gorman is opposite field. That gets by Matt Chapman. Loses his glove there. Arenado and Goldschmidt both score. Redbirds up 3-0. Sixth inning now. Same score. Jordan Walker grounds it to third. Matt Chapman over to second. Nolan Gorman will score at home. He is safe originally. After review, the umpires overturn the call. You make the call, as we'll keep it at a 3-0 ball game. All right, flash forward to the ninth inning now. 4-1 Cardinals. Ryan Helsley trying to close this one out. Pitch home, and Dalton Varsho pops this one straight in the air, and that will do it. Cardinals hold on to win 4-1. St. Louis picks up their first win of the year. Let's go to the other side of the state now. The Royals are also looking for their first win of the year as well. Top of the first, no score. Jose Miranda, deep drive to center field. Byron Buxton score easily, 1-0 Twins. Bottom of the third, same score. Opportunity for the Royals now, but Fraymil Reyes strikes out swinging to end the inning. So we'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Twins up 2-0. Kyle Isbell at the plate. Grounds into a 6-3-4 double play. Twins beat the Royals 2-0. KC still looking for their first win of the season. That'll be it with sports. We'll be back after this.
ChatGPT's next task, slow down. Elon Musk and other tech CEOs penning a letter to AI companies asking them to put a pause on development of new artificial intelligence systems, with a strong concern about the impact they could have on human race itself. Fox correspondent Alexander Hoff has the details.
It would be rare to have leaders in any industry petition for development within their own field to slow down. But that's exactly what more than 1,000 of the top tech minds have done, including Elon Musk and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, by signing on to an open letter called Pause AI Experiments. It was published by the nonprofit Future of Life Institute and seeks to temporarily curb the race to produce more advanced artificial intelligence. The letter warns that proper safety checks must be implemented first. It asks, quote, should we develop non-human minds that might eventually outnumber, outsmart, obsolete, and replace us? Should we risk loss of control of our civilization? Such decisions must not be delegated to unelected tech leaders. Well, some elected leaders agree with that.
The problem is right now we don't have a good handle around exactly what those dangers of AI are, certainly not enough to be able to develop a regulatory framework for it.
Specifically, the letter asks for AI labs to implement an immediate 6-month pause on training systems more powerful than GPT-4. That's the most sophisticated machine language model yet that can interpret language and generate responses. And it turns out AI advancement is on the White House's radar.
All I can say is that there's a comprehensive process in place. We put out a blueprint back in October, as you know. I don't have anything to share.
So the call is out there to get policymakers involved, as major tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI are scrambling to corner the market. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
The state of Arkansas is suing 3 social media companies, claiming the platforms are harmful to users, mental health, and a threat to privacy. TikTok, its parent company, ByteDance, and Meta are all named in the suit. Arkansas says the companies have violated the state's Deceptive Trade Practice Act. The state says some of the features on Meta, such as the like button and photo tagging, are, quote, addictive and intended to manipulate users' brains. Up next, how a group of delivery drivers deliver more than just packages to bring happiness to a veteran. A 76-year-old Vietnam veteran in Kentucky is now able to get in and out of his house more easily thanks to a brand new ramp. It's thanks to a nonprofit project from a company known to come to your house but never enter. Maurice Burke has the story.
Piece by piece, after about 4 hours of labor, the Ray family's newest addition is complete.
Man, I wasn't expecting nothing like this.
The UPS Foundation teamed up with nonprofit Ramp It Up to change the way 76-year-old veteran David Ray gets around.
Everybody thinks UPS just delivers packages. Well, we also deliver what matters, and we're delivering this family a wheelchair ramp today.
Just a few weeks ago, Ray fell down the steps. his wife worried about more accidents happening. So she reached out to ramp it up. Now the Rays are the 7th family in Louisville and 208th nationwide to receive a ramp from the organization. They're also one of the few with a UPS-funded ramp.
You got in your car today, got your keys, and you left. Well, some people can't do that if they got an amputee or they can't get out of their house. So they need ramps like this. You know, that's why I say the 3 things that this is all about is freedom, independence, and accessibility. Some people don't have that, and by having a wheelchair ramp, you get that back. You provide them with that.
About 20 UPS workers volunteered to build the wheelchair ramp for Mr. Ray. The UPS Foundation funds charitable organizations like Ramp It Up throughout the country. Whether it's a package delivery or a ramp, UPS wants to help.
It's not all about getting attention for it. It's just about making sure we're out just trying to help people. We're not in it for the attention or the publicity. It's just a matter of us just going out and just trying to help people who need help. That's really what it's all about.
What a great story.
Yes, it is. All right, tell us what we have coming up.
Well, Palm Sunday looks great with maybe a few sprinkles in the evening. A better chance of that on Monday. But we're watching Tuesday very, very closely as we could have some strong to severe thunderstorms. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that. Possible alert day. And then cooler after that. And then next weekend, Easter Sunday, looking pretty good at this point.
Look at that Tuesday. That was nice.
Yeah.
All right, that's our time tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with the video of Maro sets at Zope Zoo. We'll see you right back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.
Let's do that over again. That's Skopje. It's a town in Croatia.